Hello, my name is Bernard Macias, Associate State Director for AARP on Long Island. And on behalf of AARP and the Islip Arts Council, welcome to Two Together, Creating Generational Bonds virtual exhibit. We're committed to helping you stay connected, so we congratulate you on taking the time to grow, create, and connect with us at AARP and Islip Arts Council. And I'm so happy that you can join us. Together, we're so pleased with the outcomes of this brand new multi-generational virtual exhibit that promotes commonality, understanding, and respect of all ages. The concept of bringing together these artists 50 and over to virtually team up with an artist younger of age, between 12 and 18, to create one piece of art together was indeed a very unique creative experience. This was an art project of sharing, of comparing, of discovery, and it allowed for opportunities to disrupt aging, that is, to disrupt and diminish stereotypes and biases when it comes to age. So again, congratulations to all the participants and the selected artists today, and thank you so much for your hard work. A little bit about AARP. AARP is a nonprofit, nonpartisan membership organization for people ages 50 and over. There are 38 million members nationwide and approximately 2.5 million right here in New York State, and about 500,000 living and working on Long Island. AARP works to strengthen communities, age-friendly communities, and make for happier, healthier people of all ages, and we advocate for what matters most to people 50 and over and their families, with a special focus on health security, financial stability, and personal fulfillment. At AARP, we envision an America where people 50 plus of age are empowered, valued, and have the opportunity to lifelong learning and staying sharp. And we encourage people to have fun with purpose. So please feel free to connect with AARP Long Island at aarp.org/near-you, and find us on Facebook at facebook.com/AARP Long Island to learn more about other virtual stay-at-home activities, online classes, upcoming virtual events, local discounts, wellness programs, you name it, volunteer opportunities, and much more. Thank you again, and have a great day.
Years ago, when I was much younger than I am now, I laughed at the joke that middle age is when a broad mind and narrow waist exchange places. Well, I refused to narrow my mind, so I was extremely pleased and excited when the idea for Two Together took shape. There is much more to this exhibit than meets the eye. Creating art became the catalyst for Two Together because art is universal and knows no boundaries. Blurring generational boundaries runs deep. Take the climate movement's generational divide, for example. World leaders have been meeting and talking about the need to grasp climate change since before most of these young people were born, and there have been few results. Can you imagine what might be ignited and accomplished when we bring these groups together? Every generation is unique, and we can learn so much from each other when we get together.
Hi, I'm Waldo Cabrera. Having conversations with the 21 pairs of artists and then my son and I was more insightful and fun than anyone could imagine. I had a ball uncovering how the work was done, what the artists talked about, and some of you even shared some personal moments that I would cherish forever. This was not only a cross-generational project, but a cross-inspirational project. After you see this video, we hope that you will invite a friend or family member for a creative session to see what magic happens when you put pen to paper. The most important thing to remember is that although the destination is a great piece of artwork, what matters most is the time you spend together along the way. And now, the Islip Art Museum, the Islip Arts Council, AARP New York present Two Together.
I am Beth Laxer-Limmer. I live in Islip. I am a museum educator at the Vanderbilt Museum up in Northport.
I'm Lauren and I'm in 10th grade at Islip High School. I started Chinese school when I was in kindergarten and I've always enjoyed it, and just for the past few years I started taking the Chinese calligraphy.
Well, Lauren is my daughter. She loves art and she loves her calligraphy and she loves doing Chinese brush painting. And I just thought, since it both relates to nature, what I like to do and what she does, it would be a great fit, and why not? I said to her, even if it doesn't make the exhibit, we're gonna frame it, we're gonna show it off, and we'll do it again. I think this is the beginning of something interesting. This is a traditional collage. It's mixed media. It is a rag paper with my photographs, and then the rice paper, the Chinese, you can go get it, the Chinese brush painting is on rice paper, and there's also some gold paint.
The photography part, like the black and white bits, that's all of like my mom's photography. And then all of like the brush painting, like the lotus flower and the mums and the cherry blossom and the butterfly, that's all things that I did.
When you work alone, you're just doing your own thing. And here I had to give up a lot of control, and she did too in a way, but I think more for me. I had to listen more, and that's what I'm learning having a teenager at this time.
In high school, I have like more things going on after school, and I hang out with my friends more. So it was nice to be able to kind of spend more time and do things with my mom. Because when I was little, we used to do things a lot together. So it was nice to do that again.
I think we both want to continue this. She's growing up fast, and things are going to be different in a few years.
So Ava's my daughter. We don't share an apartment. She lives with her mother. But one of the things that I've been doing, is I'm going to classes at the Art Students League.
My name is Ava. I'm 15 years old and I'm in sophomore year. I've loved doing art since I was younger, and I've always done art with my dad.
Through the Art Students League, I was looking on our, there's a submissions portal that we use. And I did come across this, the two together, and we talked a little bit about it. I asked Ava if she wanted to participate, and she's busy. She's very busy with school, but we definitely made some time. We set a schedule to go ahead. So I believe we worked sort of like on Mondays and Wednesdays for a few weeks.
Well, I was really excited. My dad does a lot of work, his artwork on his own, and I do most of mine on my own. So it was a nice opportunity to get to work together. The first thing we did was the handprints. I like how handprints look on paper, so I thought that we should do them, and since our hands are both very different sizes, I thought it looked cool.
When we planned it out, I talk a lot about layering that I do. And so a part of the kind of this learning process from me to Ava was understanding what underpainting is, and then understanding how to layer, not just color, but also how to layer material. This has been a great experience, and probably one of the most fun collaborations we've had, if probably the most fun collaboration we've had.
So it's fun to get to use paint and get to do all the stuff I haven't been able to do lately. And especially to be able to do it with my dad, that was really fun.
I'm originally from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I lived in Houston for 6 years and New York City for over 12. And now I've been up in Orange County, New York for over 12. So moved around a bit.
I'm Grant Teitelbaum, and I'm also 12. And I was raised here in Middletown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she asked me to see some of my manga that I had. And then she was like, this guy looks cool. He would look good in the middle, and then my guy would look good on the left. And then another one of the guys would look good on the right. And then, I just thought that, it seemed nice and that I would do it.
We actually went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art last December and saw Hochzeit's Great Wave, which is in the poster he wanted for Christmas with the One Piece ship last year, and we put all that in our piece. Grant began painting the yellow, of the sky, and we did the wave, the blues, in stages, and we started with the gouache, and Grant did the gouache, and I kind of outlined the white of the wave.
It was fun and like tough because like when I was like drawing the sword, it was hard to do it in a straight line with I'm not sure, I don't remember if I did it with a paintbrush or with a Sharpie. So like I learned that I gotta be more precise.
I always do say that doing what you love will take you to beautiful places. Grant and I both love Japanese culture. And I hope we really are kind of interested in going there together someday. So yeah, this is just the beginning, of artistic exploration.
I'm Jeanette Curie. I'm an artist. I've always been in art my whole life. Art high school, I went to college for art, and I'm in advertising right now.
Hi, I'm Renee. I'm a senior in high school, and yeah, I really like art, and it was really fun to do this project.
We had one day where we walked throughout Manhattan. We were taking photographs together. The photo that Renee's in, I took of her, and part of the collaboration was like all these different elements that I just thought would be perfect together. I found these sterling silver spoons that were beautiful. We were by an artist, and she stamped joy and hope and faith and love. And I just thought they were a really nice piece, as a gift I could give to my girls.
And like with school and with college apps and everything, it's kind of been hard to get outside and like just take that time to like appreciate nature. So it was nice to like do that with my mom and like have a dedicated time to go outside. I think that the black and white touch was kind of cool. I like that contrast. So that's not what I was expecting, but I think it looks really good. So the poem and the inspiration came from the spoons and the sayings on them. Something I thought of on the spot, but I really like the way that like the poem turned out. As fall's coming, like winter's coming, it's getting darker earlier, like college apps are like approaching, like pressure's getting up. It's just a nice reminder that, despite everything going on, everything's gonna be okay. Like we're gonna get through it and everything's gonna be all right.
It's not something we've really done before. And I was like, well, why haven't we? It was really enjoyable and I liked it. And when I think of them going off to school and, you kind of kick yourself, like, why haven't I done this before? But I would love to do it again and continue to do things like this.
I'm an artist. I'm a painter predominantly, but actually I love drawing.
All right, I'm Juliana. I am Fran's daughter. I'm 26 years old, and by trade, I'm a teacher. I'm an elementary school teacher, so I actually also am an arts educator in a way because we do a lot of art in the classroom.
And really, we started collaborating when she was quite young. So when I first heard about this exhibition, I thought, this is easy. I have a collaborator. And so, and just an excuse to do another piece together. And it had been before college that we had last collaborated.
Originally, I had started this piece as a gift for my mom, and then she heard about the show and she told me about it. And so then we decided to collaborate on it.
So one of the things that was kind of cool was Juliana had done a lot on the faces, but not a lot on the hair. So I thought, oh, this is good. This is where I can really go in and do the hair part and all that, because it really frames the faces. And it was very exciting to have her drawing as a jump off point.
Frequently when I was a kid, I was always like so in awe of my mom's artwork and all of her talent. And so like I kind of had the same feeling of like, oh my gosh, like it has to be really good for us to collaborate. Like I need to, pull my weight with my part.
It's hard not to just be effusive with how proud I am of Juliana. And, she went from being a child to being, she teaches kindergarten. She's a responsible adult. I just felt a lot of gratitude, really, and excitement to be collaborating with her really as an equal.
It's such a different experience to grow up with your parents and, see them the way a child sees their parents, and then to kind of transition into adulthood, suddenly those relationships change. And I've been really lucky that I think, for my mom and I, if anything, it's just leaned more towards friendship. It's like we're not obligated to see each other anymore, but now we choose to. And so this was just like a great example of that.
Once David had said to me, why don't we focus on this sink and this sideboard thing? It's just amazing that he says, I built this from scratch, and with the scrap lumber, he built the bar stools. He said, why don't we take a photograph of that and then he said, who is that artist who divided things into quadrants with different colors? And I said, Andy Warhol. And he says, yeah, why don't you do that? And I loved his idea, and I ran with it. After taking the photograph and looking at it in my computer, I started building up in layers with Topaz software. I did that with a series of layers and changing color a little bit. And then I took Dave's idea of breaking the image into 4 quadrants and applying different colors to it.
The one thing I've learned about with my mom is seeing things through her eyes, and then, her explaining it to you, her point of view and perspective. It's very unique. It's very different. It's not only the artwork, but it's the presentation. Her face lights up. You could hear it in the tone in her voice. She lights up a room with her energy when she's explaining, hey, this is my second book, this is my project, this is a collaboration with me and my boy. So that's, it's not only the story, but it's also the narration of it as well.
How does it feel to be creative at this stage of the game with your son?
It's pretty special. In fact, it's damn special.
This is really special because I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Project. My cousin Marco and his parents, Dominic and Maria.
Marco, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am A U T I S T I am autistic. Okay. All right. You're autistic.
Why did you think that you could be great creative together?
Well, I think Marco is amazing, and he has a great spirit. Marco said he wanted it to be about, he felt that it should be about a family tree. We settled on collage.
We asked Marco what he wanted to do as far as some colors and some shapes, because he doesn't have the dexterity to draw and do it well. So he kind of, through the board, kind of told us what to do. And, that's what was like a part of a collaboration, doing that just without Isabel, actually, just to see what he wanted and just to put it on paper as best we could. And that's what we sent to Isabel.
I had it printed up, and then it started to coalesce. And I said, okay, now we need the tree trunk. So then I decided to embed Marco's collage into the doors. There were windows, which I removed, and then put that in there. Also, I wanted to look into almost the past.
I, L, it's after O. O, it's after O. B, I love. D, what's after D? O. D-O. I. Come on. And I love doing what? A. R. Art. W. I. T.
Yeah.
With. I. S. A. What's after A? B. What's after B? E. L. Okay. I love doing art with Isabel. Very good.
My name is Randy Brozen. I'm a working artist on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. I teach education at the City College of New York through the lens of art.
I'm Claudio, this is Marcie, and we've immigrated to New York about 10 years ago now, from Italy. And we're seniors in high school, and we enjoyed thoroughly this collaboration.
When they were 7, I used to come down on Fridays with a shopping bag of art supplies, and we would sit at the dining room table and make stuff. As soon as Holly said 2 together, I said Claudio and Marcie. And at the time, they were in Italy. I like making collage. So what I thought might work was to ask the boys to send me up to 5 images of things that they were interested in.
I have a passion in microbiology as well as art and history.
Yeah.
And so I thought that, well, it could be really beautiful, to see these living organisms, these very small things very up close. The epidermis of an onion, to like the head of a hydra, or all these things that are really obscure, really part of everyday life. You might see an onion every day, you might not even hydra on you. I've always had a big passion in environmentalism and climate justice. I also have a big passion in poetry, so I thought, okay, let's combine the two. And I started to write, and I made I made a few climate poems. I sent, I think, 2 over to Randy. And then I also made a drawing, I tried to make it very symbolic, very much cubist of a flood, and I tried to make it like very biblical looking and very symbolic and very dramatic, kind of to draw awareness and to environmental causes.
At first I tried to do 1, and I couldn't get everything in the way I wanted to. So I said, there are 2 of them, it's got to be 2 sides. I sent them samples. What does this look like to you? What do you think I should do? And they wrote me back, I don't like this one as much, maybe this one is better. And I finally blew it up. I printed it out in black and white and blew it up, and it worked.
Honestly, I felt as if it was very much an evolution. Seeing Randy and us work our way through mixing these 2 things together, I felt as if it gradually became more and more natural. In the way that these 2 projects are mixed alongside Randy's own interjections into it. And so I feel as if the final product to me, it looked like, yes, this is how it's supposed to look like.
It was really a great experience because I knew that I was going to get something wonderful and, really from the heart from them.
So my name is Beth Atkinson. I'm a retired art educator, and now I run a gallery in Northport called the Firefly Artists. And I do printmaking mostly. So woodcut and linocut and monotype.
I'm Drew Siegel. I'm in 7th grade, and I am a dancer.
So I've known Drew since she was born. She is a little girl that my daughter has babysat since she was a couple months old. We did a woodcut because that's my primary medium. And Drew had never done a woodcut before, so we figured it was a great opportunity for her to try something new.
We went to the garden in the back of the gallery in the parking lot, and we took a picture of this really pretty plant. with like these really cool looking leaves, and we took a picture and then used like an editing app. What is it? Snapseed?
Snapseed, an editing app.
And we used Snapseed to change like the contrast and like a bunch of different things to make it look a lot like cooler. And we printed it.
I did the printing, she did the cutting. I did some of the cutting. So we kind of did a 50-50 on it. It was really cool. And the print came out great, I think, right?
It was just like a really like pleasant experience to do it. And I also learned like how to like use the woodcut tools.
Yeah, she learned how to use an electric carver, which was pretty big. She used a power tool in order to help do some of it. How'd you like working with that? You like that, huh?
Yeah.
This is really the first time we made a piece of art together. I mean, I've shown Drew how to do things before, but this is the first time that we did a piece where, you know, it was her idea, my idea. She did some, I did some, and then we made it into one piece.
Hi, my name is Daniella Torres. I'm 17 and I'm from North Avalon.
Hi, I'm Gina Mars. I'm an art teacher for 30 years and I'm from Huntington Station. I had known Daniella since she was very young and she would sign up for my ceramics classes.
So I have I'm gonna call it an obsession with like plants and like all things like nature. And I have I'll show you actually. I have a plant in this piece already.
Oh my gosh.
And so I wanted to make something that I could put my plants in that was like inspired by nature.
Glazing is key. We used a lot of natural elements, like Daniella rubbed iron oxide into her piece to get that look that she has. And then we combined many different glazes that I created. I actually made them from scratch that she painted on the piece to give it that unique look.
You know, we work together. We're together for quite a few hours, certain days. And I've learned a lot about like how she grew up, how she became a ceramics teacher. It really fascinated me because I asked her what I needed to do if I wanted to be a ceramics teacher. And she told me like some really like touching stories about like how her teachers taught her and like what they did for her.
Daniella has evolved into an incredible artist and young person, and things have changed so much since I've seen her. So I feel very proud to work with her and help her with her artistic career. And I honestly, for the first time in my life, never felt that I would get to that point where I would feel that way about my students. Her drive and inspiration with everything just is so incredible. So I look forward to every week when I get to work with her because I know it's going to be an amazing experience.
I started tutoring about 5 years ago, and Nina was one of my early students. And I have to say, if she hadn't been one of my early students, I don't know if I would have kept going.
My name is Nina. I'm 12. I like to draw and paint.
She came for art lessons, and I said, so what do you think we should do? This is about being old and young, and what do we have in common? What do we not have in common? And
we chose to do a tree because with a swing set because the tree would represent her and the young swing would like represent me. We decided to use a stick and ink because we thought it would go good with the bark. We switched who would do it with the stick, so like sometimes she would do it and sometimes I would do it.
the decisions were kind of made on the fly. And she would draw some lines and then she'd go, okay, it's your turn. And I would draw almost kind of like Exquisite Corpse. You know, we never knew what the other person was going to do, but we just trusted that the other person had the right vision. She's got a very good viewpoint, and she's got a strong viewpoint for, you know, I started with her when she was like 9 years old. She had a strong viewpoint then. And to see her actually take it without me and to just go forward, it was really wonderful to watch. I'm sure as a creative person, you know yourself, when you get an idea, you want to go with that direction. You don't want anybody to get in your way. And in this particular case, I had to back off and let somebody else take the lead on occasion and trust that it was going to go in a good direction. And that was a really good experience for me too.
I thought it was a beautiful process. I thought it was a beautiful product that they came up with. I don't know what took so long for them to do something like that. I have a feeling it's just the first.
Hi, I'm Belinda Rubino, and I've been doing some upcycling art for the past 5 years. It is coming later to me in life than some other people who might have studied art.
My name is Brooke Messina. I'm a freshman studying at The Ohio State University. There I study business, and I have a minor in fashion and retail studies. So fashion and upcycling have always been a thing that was important to me. Since I was 8, I've been sewing and really invested in the arts. When Belinda first reached out to me, I was really excited because I've always loved all of the upcycling that she's done and everything that I've seen. Getting the opportunity to work with her on things that we like to do together in common was such an exciting opportunity. The American flag is something that we both love, and then putting it on the denim jacket was to make it wearable and make it more fun and fashion forward. We put some sayings on it that have to do with our views and just our morals of life that we talked about with each other. That's how we got to know each other.
And so we decided that the red stripes would represent the ills of the world, and the white stripes would represent how you could improve different areas, and what would you do to do that. And some of them are diversity, equity, and inclusion, to love one another, to listen to one another, to have empathy, to open your mind. Solving these problems would get us on the right footing to solve the world's problems.
The fact that we're so similar was definitely something shocking to me. Even though we have an age difference, there's so many similarities that we have beyond our beliefs, like the dance, a huge part of my life. It was a part of her life. She kind of became like a mentor to me in a way, because she went to FIT, and that I told her that had always been one of my dreams growing up. Before I decided to go to Ohio State, I'd always wanted to go to FIT. I'd always loved fashion, and she just really inspired me through her story and everything that I learned about her.
I never would have thought to collaborate with anybody younger at all. She was very quick, smart, and bright and talented, and it was exciting. It was a lot of fun.
My name is Avril, and I am Kayla's Nana. I was actually an art teacher for over 25 years in Jericho.
I'm Kayla. I'm a senior at Binghamton University. We wanted to collaborate, and it was very refreshing to be able to do something with canvas and paint rather than just a couple of clicks on my computer.
I heard about this, ironically, after Kayla and I had created this together.
I was researching for months what I wanted my room to look like, and I went to my Nana with a picture that I liked, and I said, "Oh, what do you think of this? I think I'm gonna buy it for over my bed." She goes, No. She goes, "You're not buying a painting." She goes, "We're gonna paint it together. We've made things in the past, but nothing to this extent, and of course, the one time that we make something like this in years," she's like, "Oh yeah, and there's an exhibit for it, so we're gonna submit." I go, "Perfect."
What I tried to do is share with her my secret or special techniques that I use in my paintings. And so she was able to paint with the true eye of an artist, really to evaluate on her own.
The passion she has for what she does is something that I strive to have with whatever I'm doing. And even though it might not be painting canvases every day, I was able to see how extremely proud she is to do what she does.
The time we spent together was, more than bonding. It was building memories together, granddaughter and grandmother. And she'd had something that would be lasting forever. So we could have legacy of love to 1, 2, and 3, and on and on. I mean, there's no limit for love.
My name is Bill Kukula. It's my granddaughter, Addison, I'll get it straight. And I've painted all my life. There was really no planning. We were just sitting around. She was painting, or we always try and figure something to do, and she was painting. And in the back of my mind, I knew about this virtual show. And I said, this would be great because there's a natural talent. And I just asked her, would you like to do this? And I was thrilled when she said yes.
I like to use acrylic paints, usually.
Mm-hmm.
We split the painting in half, and I would paint one side and he would paint the other side.
Mm-hmm. This was an excuse to do something I wanted to do anyway. When we worked together, I make it a point not to touch her painting, that she must do it all her own, because later in life, I don't want her to say, I did everything except this. Her part of the painting, she did everything. So I would do a little part, and then I would show you how I would do it, but that's not how you have to do it. And then you did. I see a talent in her, and she paints better at her age than I did at her age. I like to think of this as the beginning of what could be, something that we do more often with all the grandkids. I want to share with all my children and grandchildren that you have to have something to do just because you enjoy it. And hopefully you get it.
Hi, I'm Louise. I'm Eric's grandma, and I retired from Brentwood School 33 years.
I'm Eric, and I go to Rocky Point School, and I'm in 5th grade, and I like video games.
And I chose Eric because he was going to be staying with me. He's my only grandson, and why not? He loves art.
I drew an octopus and I like drawing them, so I did one and I did it green and yellow.
And it's acrylic paint on canvas. He did the sketch and he drew all the drawings of the claws and the octopus. He painted it. I came in later on with the sky and the clouds, the birds and the butterflies. The blue cloud is me with the birds and the butterfly, and he had the electric cloud, the black electric cloud, that was more him.
And the lightning bolt of the cloud took over the octopus. That's why it's green and yellow.
We talked about a few different things before we actually came up with acrylic and canvas. We went to the beach, we collected shells and sand, and we got a big claw that was from a crab. It almost looked like a lobster claw. We're getting inspiration from the beach.
I thought it was good, and I'd wonder how it would turn out, if it would look good or not with the paint, because usually I'd just use pencil.
You know what he said to me when he was painting? "Oh, this is so satisfying." And I said, "Really?" He said it was very satisfying. So it calms you down. I just believe that it's good karma, and it's really great. The arts are, I don't see how you could live without them.
I'm Dianna Kurz. I'm a painter. I was very pleased to participate in this. It gave me a chance to get to know Judah.
My name is Judah. I am 15. I'm a sophomore in high school.
I had a family gathering at my home, and it was the first time I really had a chance to talk with Judah as an adult. He was a young adult. Before that, he was always this little boy. And I thought, what a great person he is. And then I mentioned this project, and Judah was interested. And I think it was, now I have a special bond with Judah that I have with nobody else in the family.
When I did go on airplanes, I was always the one, like, I had to get the window seat because I kind of just, I had to see what was outside. I wanted to see takeoff. I wanted to see us landing. I wanted to see the ocean and the clouds. And there's just such a sense of imagination there. I thought, I don't know, it's just a really big wonder. It's like a perspective that I almost never got being that high up.
I got the package. There was no written instructions, but I looked at it and I knew exactly what it was. I could see the seat rest and that peculiar shape of a window. Our regular houses don't have windows that shape. I tried to make it look like stuff happening outside the window. And I tried to make, sometimes in a plane, you can see part of the wing or the tail or something. I tried to put that in. And I tried not to make my own artwork, but I tried to interpret what Judah sent me.
If I'm being honest, before this project, I didn't really get to have that many conversations with Dianna because, I don't think I was old enough. But I just really getting to know her, talking about this art piece, and through the process of it, I came over to her house to look at the final product, and we just had to talk. I got to know her. I think it was, also just it's a learning experience. I got to learn about her life and just who she is as a person. I think that's the main thing I got out of it. I just never knew we had such an incredible artist in the family, and it's very interesting to learn about that, and it was very great.
What came out of it for me was a new friendship. And we all went out for dinner, and it was just Judah and his mom and me. And it's the first time I think we really had a really good talk, and I really want to continue. We don't have to continue doing art together if you don't want to, but I want to continue our conversations because, like I said, now I always have this special bond with you.
I'm Janine Amato. I am a floral designer and own a florist now for the past 5 years. I just love making art with anything.
Hi, I'm Emily Blair. I'm a senior at East Islip High School, and I own my own crocheting business. My mom just said, do you want to do something with Janine? Yes, I want to do something with Janine. We are very similar with, we both love singing and stuff like that. And we have very similar personalities. I know she creates beautiful work, and I knew that whatever we would do or I was signing up for, I would have fun doing, and we would do a good job with it.
Emily is a young, free spirit kind of lady, and I wanted to do something that was young and fun. I came up with thinking of doing the dress form, and that we would do it with flowers.
I made 2 different types of flowers. I made these ones with the yellow in the center that are bigger, and then there's another flower that's smaller and it has puffier petals. So we just kind of sprinkled them throughout the dress, or what we're calling the dress.
We really wanted to make it look like it was a lady who we named Cheryl in the English garden. So Cheryl in the English garden, and just to make it look like a natural, beautiful dress, almost something that a fashion designer would have made. We worked really well at rolling ideas off of each other. We helped tweak and fine-tune our piece.
Example of what Janine was talking about, there's this, when we add, there's additional branches of flowers coming out from one of the sides and from the top of the piece. So Janine just kind of brought it out. We're just oh, we could do something with this. And then I was like, what if we put it on the top? I was doing it as a joke. And once we put it on, we were like, wow, that actually doesn't look that bad. And it gave
movement.
Yeah.
It does. It flows.
kind of the process of us having fun and enjoying just spending time with each other.
I taught writing and reading, and I used art as one of my vehicles to entice my high school students. Most of them were from prison or were living on the streets. So they were young adults who were falling through the cracks.
So I was on the King and I Broadway show during 2015 to 2016. And I played one of the King's children.
How I know Tim is his mom, I had no idea if this was going to work or not, but I trusted that I believe in the process of art and creativity that the two of us were going to make it happen. I asked him what was important for him, knowing a ninth grader had so many things on his plate and his mind. And one of the things he said, I really want to do a reflection of who I am. And I thought that was wonderful. He never did a portrait. I took a picture of him. We made a grid, and I showed him how you could follow the contour of your face in each box.
I definitely did a lot of the painting, and then Jackie helped me incorporate different styles and stuff like that.
While Tim and I were working on the project, we talked about everything. Whether we were talking about the difficulty of expressing oneself or how am I going to do my studies, and I love to sing.
Also, I learned about her style and about basically how different our styles were, because I'm very precise and I'm always trying to be super realistic, and her paintings are more abstract, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely like to do this again sometime in the future.
I'm Kathleen McArdle, and I live in Sound Beach, New York. I'm an artist, and I was an art teacher for many years and also a special ed teacher.
My name is Claire McArdle. I live in Arlington, Virginia. And yeah, I really like to paint and do art, and I take music in school, so I just really like to do art.
And initially I wasn't going to do it because all my grandchildren and people that I would want to paint with don't live nearby. But fortunately, Claire came up for a weekend in October, and it seemed the perfect time.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be really fun. It was really exciting because I always like painting with her, and it's fun to learn a lot from her type of art, and I really like it. It was fun. We were drawing before a little bit of water scenes, and we're like, oh, why not we just do another one? And yeah, I really like the water and the ocean, and my grandma does too, and it was really fun.
She started out with the sea turtles, and then I guess I suggested let's put some sea ferns in, and then we were trying to think of what other things would fit in an underwater scene that would help the composition. She came up with the idea of a shipwreck, and then I thought, well, how about a treasure chest? She would paint on one side first, and I would kind of try to do something on the other side so we didn't get in each other's way.
I kind of liked the experience of working with someone else, because then there were more ideas put in the piece, and if you were kind of stumped on what to draw, you could always look to the other person to see what they were going to draw.
Claire has that confidence. She just, with the sea turtles, just went right in. She knew what she wanted them to be like. Said to myself, why can't I be like that? I want to be more confident in my own work. I mean, she's my granddaughter, and she's able to just do that work. So I think I learned that from her and about her, just how confident she can be with her work.
I'm Angelica Wertz. I'm a psychologist, and I also do music and photography. Penelope's mom and I work together, and that's how we met each other.
I'm Penelope Gonzalez. I'm in 8th grade. During the virus, I got a bunch of inspiration from animes. I put a bunch of Post-its on drawings I thought that would be good to collab with. that I already had.
I looked through them and I scanned them, and then I started working with a few of them that I felt melded well together. I like the idea of infinity, I like the idea of clocks, and it was very relevant in terms of the collaboration with Penelope because of time and our differences in ages. So in a lot of ways, like it wasn't intentional per se, but then it sort of morphed into that.
I was like, there was like a lot of things I wasn't expecting, and I thought it came out really well. And I loved how like the clocks on the background, and I love how one of the eyes of the drawing was on the clock. And I don't know, it kind of showed the personality of the character.
We actually met after the collaboration, and it was very interesting how there's similarities in our personalities and maybe some of our values. And it was very interesting to find, you know, like a lot about Penelope and, you know, and to learn about her sort of post collaboration.
I personally loved the experience because in the past, not many people really like accepted my interest or like thought like ever like really took a look at stuff. And I was really happy when someone actually liked my artwork and thought it was good and thought like and noticed a bunch of little details that I added that not many people would notice. And I thought it was really fun, and like it gave me more confidence about that I should just keep going on with drawing, because at one point I stopped and I didn't, and I really regret it. So I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm Waldo Cabrera, been an artist all my life, and I'm also a creative director and a filmmaker.
My name is Max Cabrera. I am currently a senior at Brentwood High School. I am 17 years old.
Although I'm a co-curator in this event, I was interviewing people for Two Together, and my son overheard me. And I was surprised when he said to me, "Hey, Dad, can I join in?" So I said, "Hey, you know what? He's 17, I'm 54. We fit the parameters."
I didn't really have anything particular in mind. It took me a while to come up with something. I really thought to myself that I had to go all out with this, that I had to come up with something like extraordinary or complicated. And overall, I just decided to go with the character from a show that I'm currently watching. So
then I sketched my character on top of it, and then I inked it and colored it in. And this is watercolors with Prismacolor highlights.
Well, I learned which character you like when you were my age. And that for sure. I learned that you're very talented with your color scheme and all that.
The most important thing that I learned is that my son actually pays attention to what I do.
Yeah. So.
You know, the biggest surprise in the fact that he invited himself and he asked if he could participate in this exhibition, to me that was priceless. And I'm really happy you asked. So thank you.
John's dad, Jason. He had tried for us to get together a couple times over the past year, just so I could share with John some of my experience, and it never worked out. So when this opportunity came up through AARP and Islip Arts Council, I immediately thought of John.
Hi, I'm John, and I'm from North Bowman, but I moved to Oakdale, and I am a young artist that worked with the font Becker to make one beautiful art piece.
I brought with me colored pencils and acrylic paints because I wanted to do something with John that he felt comfortable with, that he'd had experience with, that he was interested in doing, because it was a collaboration. It wasn't all about what I wanted to do. I could see right away that he had really good drawing skills.
I drew another character named Foxy, and then Ron really liked the character.
And I asked John, where do we want to place him? What time of day and so forth, to get all of the specifics of how John wanted Foxy living in this environment.
foxes are like nocturnal, I think. So like, of course, like I made it like, I asked him if he could make it like nighttime, and like the moon would shine on like his little house, like his little tree log.
It was delightful on how easy it was to converse with John, share things about myself, about art in general, and really delve into the different journey or experiences and techniques of art, knowing that he was soaking it all in.
When I look at him and I see the natural ability that's in him that just flourishes every day, and then just having the opportunity to get him around somebody who's further down the road who can pour into him, it was really amazing.